Hello students. Welcome back to the session 3. This is Chandrashekar, social science teacher, PGS Public School, Sheetlagatta. Dear students, in the last two sessions, we are all gathered in detail information about the British administrative system, judicial system, military system, police system. Then after different and variety types of the land tax policies are implemented by British, that we should consider for permanent zamindari system, mahalwari system and raitavari system. Even after we all are learn the impact of the British land tax policies. Then again the Britishers are given importance to expansion of the British education in India. So this was the reason purpose the Britishers are implemented for modern education. So the expansion of the modern education already we are all gathered, and the impact of the British education system in India. Then after the Britishers are implemented for different and variety types of the rules and regulations, that we should consider the constitutional development. The constitutional development. Under that, the Britishers are implemented Regulating Act in the year of 1773. So then after, in the year of 1784, the Britishers are implemented for the Pitt's India Act. Then the Britishers are again implemented Charter Acts, 4 types of Charter Acts, 1793 Charter Act, 1813 Charter Act and 1833 Charter Act and 1853 Charter Act. Got it? So in this session, we have to gonna learn about 1813 Charter Act and 1833 Charter Act. Charter is nothing but, I already told, it is one of the important agreement like. Let's start the session, dear students. The first one is the Charter Act of 1813. Here, this act allowed this demand and authorized all interested persons to carry out trade in India, whether the person belongs to British East India Company, whether the person belongs to Indian country, got it? Those who are interested, got it? They have to carry for the trade throughout the Indian country with involving of agreement, with involving to the agreement. So that this act, the Charter Act of 1813, allowed this demand and authorized all interested persons to carry out trade throughout the Indian country. Then under this Charter Act, they provide license and power to carry for the trade. So that is a new era of license and authorization started. Got it? New era of license. It means they providing some of the important license to carry for the trade throughout the Indian country under the Charter Act of 1813. So this is one type of agreement. Then the board of directors was vested with the powers, and it means the board of directors having a most of the power. I already told, no, board of controllers is there first, then board of controllers replaced as board of directors, and they have a power to appoint for the governor general and the commander in chief. So at present, the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force commander in chief president, and even they have a power to appoint for the governor also under the Charter Act of 1813. So like we should consider for the board of directors. So they have to decide and appoint for the commander in chief for the Army, Navy and Air Force, and even they have to decide for the governor general also. And the churches were allowed to enter India officially. So here, before the Charter Act of 1813, the Christians were not entered to Indian country to spread the Christian religion purpose. But when the Britishers are implemented Charter Act, so officially Christian people entered to India for the churches. When they came to India, got it? And they given importance to expansion of the Christianity. To expansion of the Christianity, it means they converted different religion people into Christianity. They converted different religion people into Christianity, and they have to started to spread out the English education under the Charter Act of 1813. So dear students, so this is the symbol of church, and the Christian missionaries are trying to spread for the English education, and they try to converting other religion people into Christianity under the Charter Act of 1813. And another one very important act, this is also we should consider Charter Act of 1833 CE. Then what is the importance of Charter Act of 1833 CE? Here the Governor General of Bengal was named as the Governor General of India. So here, before the implementation of Charter Act, the Governor General only limit to the Bengal. But after the implementation of the Charter Act of 1833, the Bengal Governor General only carrying administration and controlling power throughout the India, and he became the Governor General of India. Those who were nominating Bengal Governor General, that person only having a right to do administration throughout the Indian country. The Governor General of Bengal was named as the Governor General of India. Governor General picture, and the Governor General was having a power. At what type of power? In case between the states any problems being came into existence, and between the presidencies any problems being came into existence, he have a power to direct them. It means to direct in right way and control them, and supervising all the trades of Indian country, north, west, south, east, in these all parts, trade controlling power under the control of Governor General under the Charter Act of 1833. And here mainly the Bengal become a authority of the central government. Here all the issues, the central government of Bengal had the final right to decide on issues. Nowadays Delhi, the central government consisting is there, and that time the central government consisting in Bengal. Got it? So the central government having a power and final right to decide on issues, different and various problems like war and peace and diplomatic friendly relationship with other princely states, like, but not remaining any other states. This is possible only for the Bengal, because in that Bengal consisting of the central government under the Charter Act of 1833. And the Government General was mandated to put his difference opinion with the Executive Committee. Executive Committee is nothing but administrative committee. In case that administration committee any difference opinions being came into existence, means here the Governor General involving. Got it? And based on the majority of the people opinion, based on the majority of the people's opinion, he involving and taking further decision under the Charter Act of 1833. So dear students, this is about for the Charter Act of 1833. And the act barred any discrimination based on religion, birth and skin color. Which act means Charter Act of 1833. Completely prohibited. So we no need to do for the discrimination based on religion. Whether the person belongs to any religion, we no need to do for the discrimination. Whether the person born Brahmins as a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra means also, we no need to do for the discrimination. And even for the skin color, whether the person belongs to white, red, black, we no need to do for the discrimination. So like Charter Act completely banned discrimination based on religion, birth and skin color. So like different religion pictures are there. And the Governor General was mandated to appoint a law professional as a member to his executive committee. So executive committee is nothing but administrative committee. ಆ ಒಂದು ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಕಮಿಟಿಗೆ ಯಾರನ್ನಾದರೂ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಪವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟು ದ ಗವರ್ನರ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ಸ್. So under the Charter Act of 1833, certain rules and regulations implemented in our Indian country. Then dear friends, All British companies were allowed to have trade relationship in India. Only British companies. All the British companies, though actually British East India Company came to India to do for the trade. Then after so many British companies have a right to carry trade throughout the Indian country under the Charter Act of 1833C. So here these two Charter Acts playing very important role. One, the Charter Act of 1813, and another one, the Charter Act of 1833C. See, like British companies entered to India to do for the trade. So these are the information about for the Charter Acts. Then after, dear students, another one very important, British Government Act of 1853. Sorry, 1858. British Government Act of 1858 to 1947. So between the 1858 to 1947, there are some of the important acts are implemented. Let's see at what type of acts Britishers are implemented and why the Britishers are implemented such a kinds of acts like. So here British Government Acts of 1858 and 1947. Let's see. The Sepoy Mutiny took place due to misadministration of the East India Company. We know about like that completely failure of the British administration during the period of 1857. That is why anti-Indian acts, it means negative feelings, hatred towards India. ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅವರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಲವ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಗನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ British East India Company. So as a result, the administration of India was handed over to the British Queen from East India Company. So after the 1857, the administration of East India Company completely ended. Then the administration handed to Queen of England. Then after, what happened? Indian Government Act of 1858. This is one type of new era because the administration of British East India Company ended. Before the 1858, there is only domination in our Indian country. But after the 1858, there are lot of changes available in the field of administration. Indians are get so many rights. So this was the reason purpose only within span of a short period, Indians possible to get for the freedom. Let's see the first. The license of East India Company was cancelled. So after the 1857, the license of the East India Company completely cancelled and administration brought directly under the control of Queen. Do you understand? Before the 1858, the administration carrying throughout the Indian country only for the British East India Company. So that East India Company administration ended in the era of 1857. So in the era of 1858, the administration carrying directly by the Queen of England. So East India Company administration ended. See that into mark. British East India Company. So administration goes to Queen of England. The post of Governor General was changing to Viceroy. The first there is a post Governor General like. Then that post changed as Viceroy. The post of Governor General was changed into Viceroy. Then Lord Canning became the first Viceroy of India. Who was the first Viceroy of India means Lord Canning. Lord Canning became the first Viceroy of India. Look at the picture. He was the first Viceroy of India. A new post called Secretary of State for India was created. This is one of the important new post. Secretary of India was created by the British government. British government. So these all changes possible after the 1858 Secretary of States of India. Then dear students, Indian Councils Act of 1861. Why the Britishers are implemented Indian Councils Acts of 1861 and what features consisting this act, now we have to gather one by one. Here this is called as a policy of assertion. What is policy of assertion? So policy of assertion is nothing but Indians have a to argue with Britishers. What is right, what is wrong, like ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಸಮರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು, ತಮ್ಮಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ತಾವು ಪ್ರತಿಪಾದನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಹ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ this is called as Indian Council Act of 1861, also called as a policy of assertion. So this act consisting of some of the important features. See, Indians were nominated to the Council of Viceroy as a non-official members. So here mainly see, Indians were nominated to the Council of Viceroy as a non-official members. Here Indians are not official members, only for the non-official members. So there is a, in Kannada we have to say about for ಆಟಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಊಟಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅವರಿದ್ರೂ ಇಲ್ದಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ನಾಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಆಫ್ ವೈಸ್ರಾಯಿ ಆಸ್ non-official members but not for the official members under the Council Act of 1861. And Viceroy was authorized to proclaim ordinance in case of emergency. It means authorized means having a power. Who means Viceroy? I already told now, Lord Canning, he was the first Viceroy of our Indian country. He was authorized to proclaim. Proclaim means announcing officially ordinances in case of emergency. Put it in case sometimes rules and regulations have to change means. Rules and regulations have to change means. So Viceroy have to officially announce for that under the Indian Council Act of 1861. So this information consisting of the Indian Councils Act of 1861. So look at officially arranging through the legal procedure. Through the legal procedure. So dear students, this is about Indian Councils Acts of 1861. Then Indian Councils Act of 1892. Indian Councils Act of 1892. What consisting of this? See, the number of additional members in the regional and central level bodies was increased. So before the 1892, what did state level and central level, the Indians nominating very less. So central level the Indians are nominating to very less and state level nominating to very less. But after the 1892 Indian Counciling Act, this is increased. So Indians also nominating to legislative councils and legislative bodies, this has been going to the increasing. So Indians also involving in the politics. So like see, the members increasing. Got it? And the legislative council's authority was increased further by allowing discussion on budget related issues. So this you should be keep in your mind. Got it? The legislative councils, it means different types of the parliaments, have a authority was increased further. What is the meaning of further? Encouraging, promoting. Got it? Here those who are having Indians state level and central level, they also involving in a to discussion about to grant of the budget. What is the meaning of your budget? A sum of money allocated for a particular reason purpose. In case health department purpose, education department, agriculture department, child department, in this fields have faced any problems means allocating for the money. So like Indians also have a right with Britishers have to going on the discussions about for the budget under the Indian Counciling Act of 1892. and provision was made to question the government on public issues by serving 6 days notice in advance. Public issues means in case the people of our Indian country facing such any kind of problems means our Indians and those who are having a state level legislative members and central level legislative members, they have notice to the British government before 6 days. Before 6 days. When in case the noticing of before 6 days means the same problem discussed after the 6 days in a parliament, whether state level, whether central level. So this is possible under the Indian Counselling Act of 1892, like going on the discussions, various public issues, it means the public problems. So this is possible through the Indian Counselling Act of 1892. Then another one, Indian Councils Act of 1909. Indian Council Act of 1909. Here, this act also called as a Minto-Marley Reformation Act. Dear students, got it? Indian Council Act of 1909 is also called as a Minto-Marley Reformation Act. What is the another name of Minto-Marley Reformation Act? Means Indian Counselling Act of 1909. Let's see here, Minto-Marley Reformation Act. First one person Minto and second one person Marley. Minto-Marley Reformation means changing. These two persons join together and reforming some of the important fields. So the total number of Central Legislative Council members was increased to 60 from 16. So before the Indian Counselling Act of 1909, got it? Central Legislative Council members only for the 16. But after the implementation of the Indian Counselling Act of 1909, so automatically increasing, what it is? 60 from 16, 16 ಇರೋದು 60 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So it means Indians are involving in a politics. So like the numbers become a more through the Indian Counselling Act of 1909, and the number of regional council members was also increased. What is the meaning of your regional? Means state level. Central level also increased and state level also increased after the implementation of the Indian Counselling Act of 1909. Then representation of the regional council was allowed through the election for the first time. See here, representation of the regional council was allowed through the election for the first time. Only first conducting for central level elections. But after the implementation of the Indian Council Act of 1909, even possible to conducting elections through the state level also. Through the state level also. Regional level means state level like. So like see here the conducting for the elections only for the state level. Look at the pictures in early days. So this type of election method was going on, but at present we are all using for ballot. It means EVM machines, electronic voting machines. In order to provide separate representation for Muslims, separate electorate college was created. Here Muslims are demanding to the British government, we need separate electorate college. Muslims are demanding to the British government, we need separate electorate college. Here the British government granted separate electorate college under the Indian Counselling Act of 1909. Then what is the meaning of separate electorate college? It means see, Muslim will choose their separate leader. Muslim will choose for separate leader through the separate elections. So in that elections only involving by only Muslims, that's it. So that is separate electorate college. Separate elections for Muslims and separate leader for Muslims. So this is about for the Indian Counselling Act of 1909. So like Muslims only involving in elections, and so this is separate. Got it? Muslims are separate, Hindus are separate, like. Then dear students, after that Indian Councils Act of 1990. Before we all learn about 1909. Now we have to learn about Indian Councils Act of 1990. Indian Councils Act of 1919. Here see, this act is also called as Montagu-Chelmsford Reformative Act. Montagu-Chelmsford Reformative Act. Before I already told no, as it is like Indian Council Act of 1919. What is the another name of Indian Councils Act of 1919 means Montagu-Chelmsford Reformative Act. So here Montagu-Chelmsford. Got it? Chelmsford. First person is the Montagu, second person is the Chelmsford. So both together and implementing some changes under the Indian Councils Act of 1919. So this act formulated bicameral legislative body. It means bicameral is nothing but composing of two legislative bodies, like one is lower house, another one is upper house. Lower is called as Lok Sabha and upper house is called as Rajya Sabha at present day. Like, got it? So under the Montagu-Chelmsford Reformative Act, bicameral legislative body created. So that consists of lower house and upper house. So one is the lower house, another one is the upper house. These two types of legislative bodies are created under the Montagu-Chelmsford Reformative Act or Indian Councils Act of 1919. Then Dairachi was allowed at regional government. Got it? It means, see, Dairachi means a form of government having two joint rulers. A form of government having two joint rulers. So at present in our Indian country, the system is there. State level, Chief Minister carrying for the administration. Central level, Prime Minister carrying for the administration. So that is a form of government having two joint rulers. Here there is a relationship between Chief Minister and Prime Minister. In case between the states any problems being came into existence means Prime Minister through the central government involving and solving for such a problems. So under the Indian Council Act of 1919, Dairachi was allowed at the regional government. It means state level governments. Already central government is there. So like that is a Dairachi. And separate electoral college. First, you know, like that Britishers are providing facility to only for the Muslims. Separate elections for Muslims and separate leader for Muslims. So this facility extended Muslims to even that extended to 6 Anglo-Indians and Europeans, but not for the Hindus. So this facility, separate electoral college, separate elections, separate leader facility, even they extended to 6 also, Anglo-Indians also and Europeans also, but not to the Indians. So dear students, should be keep in your mind, this is about for the Indian Council Act of 1919. And mainly High Commissioner were appointed for India. What is the meaning of here? High Commissioner means a senior government administrative person. A senior government administrative person. And High Commissioner was appointed for India under the Indian Council Act of 1919. See, the High Commissioner appointed to India. And provincial budget was separated from central budget. First, the budget same throughout the Indian country, only for the central budget. But under the Indian Council Act of 1919, there central budget separate and state budget separate. Central budget separate and state budget separate. So like the two types of budgets, central and state level. And I already told now, electoral college for Muslims, 6 Anglo-Indians and Europeans are extended. So dear students, about for the Indian Counseling Act of mainly 1919. Then another one and the last act in this lesson. So that is Indian Government Act of 1935. Indian Government Act of 1935. Why the Britishers are implemented Indian Government Act of 1935? Is there any reasons behind the implementation of Indian Government Act of 1935? So this very important question. What it? Indian Government Act of 1935, Regulating Act. Regulating Act. These two are very, very important. First here, mainly, this act acted as the base for the formation of Indian Constitution. Nowadays, there is a constitution for India. Now there is a constitution for India. So constitution being came into existence means that credit goes to Indian Government Act of 1935. So here the report submitted in 1928 under the leadership of Motilal Nehru was instrumental in the formation of the act. So in 1928 only Motilal Nehru committee submitted one report. In future frame the constitution. ಮುಂದೆ ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 1928ರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋತಿಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರು ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ಮೋತಿಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರು ಕಮಿಟಿ, tribute to freedom, fight on former constituencies like. And dear students, a federal system of Indian principalities. What is the meaning of your federal? Relating to system of government which several states. Federal means different states having a different governments. State level one government and state central level one government. Federal two types of government. Indian principalities, it means Indian territories. Indian territories ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫೆಡರಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಗವರ್ನರ್ಡ್ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೊಮಿನಿಯನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್. ಸಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಗವರ್ನರ್ಡ್ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನದರ್ ಡೊಮಿನಿಯನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಯರ್ ಡೊಮಿನಿಯನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪವರ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. Got it? So this is also possible under the Indian Government Act of 1935. A federal system of Indian principalities and British governed, British administration regions and dominion states was formed. Britishers ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೋ ಅದು ಒಂದು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೋ ಅದು ಒಂದು. ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1935, Reserve Bank of India was established. So when Reserve Bank of India being came into existence means in the year of 1935, and hierarchy was established center. I already explained about for the hierarchy. Then dear students, hierarchy was cancelled at the regional level. So first central level is there and the regional level is there. After they implemented central level and cancelled for the state level. Then autonomy was granted. What is the meaning of your autonomy? Self direction. ಆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸೇ ಅವರು ಸ್ಟೇಟನ್ನು ಆಳ್ವಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1935. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಫೆಡರಲ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಡ್. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಹೈ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್. Central level Supreme Court and state level high courts. So the federal courts was established under the 1935 Government Act. Then, so this is all the a federal system of Indian principalities, British governed regions and dominion states was formed. This is a repeated point. So like, and I already said repeated point, Reserve Bank of India was established. So this is the Reserve Bank of India. Hierarchy was established center. So this is the hierarchy only for the center, but state level cancelled. So I already told you state level hierarchy cancelled. Then the federal courts, state level one court and the central level one court. So this is Supreme Court. So dear students, this topic you have to particularly understand. One should understand the various political developments that resulted in the formation of various acts that aided the formation of Indian Constitution. So here in the historical backdrop of our Indian Constitution, Britishers are implemented for various political developments. It means different and variety types of the rules and regulations. So this is very useful in future formation of our Indian Constitution. So hence these acts serve as the purpose of British interest. They also include the aspirations of Indians, and these acts should be understood as the result of struggle led by Indians for self-rule. So these all the acts are very very essential and very very useful. So when Britishers are implementing for such a kind of rules and regulations, got it? Here Indians, including for the Indians having so many aspirations, ಈ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅವರು ಯಾವಾಗ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೋ ಭಾರತೀಯರಿಗೆ ಅವರದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಆ್ಯಂಬಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. got it? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ Indians possible to applying for self-rule. Indians possible to applying for self-rule through the various constitutional amendments. Through the various constitutional amendments. So dear students, this is the lesson history chapter 3, impact of the British rule in India. This is Chandrashekar, social science teacher, BGS Public School, Shetlaghatta. Thanks for watching video. Have a nice day.